all my friends, welcome to my my stream once again uh, here on my channel, Leah's Bible Babble, and to my uh, live stream for the love of crafting. And I can see in the chat, Fallout Dave is here. Hello so much and welcome. It's been a while. It's been a really long time. I am so sorry for that. That is because both I have been ill and I have had no really tough workload and have done so much on Saturdays. Been the last 2-3 weeks or something. So now I am back, finally. So, a little bit of new setup, but I think it would be a little nicer to see what I'm doing here with this setup I have right now. Sorry for the stains and everything, but it's at least it is clean. So we need a clean surface. So what has happened since the last time? There's a lot. I've done some. My last stream, I think I showed you what I did and my what I found on a flea market with all the cross-stitch kits and all of that for very, very cheap. Since then, I have both been on other flea markets, and I had meeting with some friends where was me and 6 friends of mine. We were cross-stitching for a whole day. It was absolutely amazing, as always. We try to meet a couple of times a year and just talking cross-stitching and gossiping, and we have so much fun. We we eat junk food for the whole day and cross-stitch and living the dream. So and from that, when I had that time, I found this one. Oh, I think I saw it was a really bad reflection in the camera, so I will open it up so you can see the picture here. It's a nice medieval castle with and it's stitched on dark blue Ada. I think it's going to be very, very awesome. It's called the Wizard Castle. So I'm looking forward to this one to do some time later in my life, probably when I'm retired. Then I have been on a flea market. So here is yarn, and this yarn is 100% wool, and you can see it. It's probably handmade wool. It's way too. It's a little bit rough in the texture. Folate says, welcome back. I'll be playing a little while watching. Well, you are always welcome here. So you can listen to my rumblings about yarn and cross stitching. Anyway, this is 100% wool, so it's a little bit itchy. So I'm actually gonna make socks out of this, and I think I'm gonna mix it up with other wools I have, and then I'm gonna make socks and send them to Ukraine before the winter, for the brave men and women that is fighting in Ukraine. So, so that is the plan for this one, and and there are 5 different. So this is a lot of yarn. So, and I just paid like $5 for it in total. So extremely cheap. I love going on flea markets and find stuff. Then uh, then I said a long time ago, but I said that once a month I'm gonna update you on how far I have come with the heaven and earth cross stitching I'm working on. So here is my monthly update, and as you can see, I have started on the next page. So I'm now on page 6 in total. So there are a little bit more that is happening in the background, and it's a really nice pattern, and it's very relaxing to stitch. But I'm not gonna sit here and stitch on this on stream, just because I needed to have the frame in my floor stand, and this it takes a lot of effort to make this. So so this is my update for this month. So hopefully for the next month I am on the next page. So so what I'm going to do tonight, well, I'm actually gonna start anew. This kit was one of those that was included in the big haul I did like 3 weeks ago. When I it's more than 3 weeks, it's like a month ago, when I purchased all the kits that I didn't know that I needed, but I wanted. So this is one of them. I think it's really really nice with it's a cherry blossom and a butterfly and some leaves. So hopefully it's not going to take too much energy. So I had opened it before this event or before this stream, just because I just want to know what was inside. You know, some kits are included a needle and some kits are not. Sometimes the package with the needle just escapes the package. So and here are the fabric and my threads. They were already organized and really neatly organized too. So you can see here this 1 to 7 and 13 to 19. So you wonder what's happened to those in the middle. There are none. So that is very simple of it. can we have a close-up on this one maybe? Here we go. So, I'm looking forward to it. Now here is the chart. And this pattern is from a Danish fabricator called Permin of Copenhagen, that I warmly recommend, just because not only that is a Scandinavian business, but also that they are very accurate in their when they do the calculations of how much the threads is going on, and the patterns always adds up in a way that is very neat. And so like I have talked about before, there are, so if you look at very closely, well, you can see there are cross stitches in those within the flowers, and so I'm thinking I might replace them with a bead. That would be awesome. And you know, when you replace a stitch with a bead, you have the little bit of a 3D effect in it. So maybe I will do that. Perhaps. I don't know. Starting and see how far I come. Well, if you are new in here, welcome so much to this live stream here on my channel, Leah's Bible Babble, and to my stream For the Love of Crafting, where I do some crafting at least once a week. And for now, the crafting I do, For the Love of Crafting, has been once a week. And I know that there's been some radio silence on my channel. Sorry about that. That is just because of my work. So some updates about my work. Well, my employment right now is on 20 hours a week, and like 2 weeks ago, my boss came and told me that he wants me on 30 hours a week. So, which I, of course, said yes to. So I will have a little bit longer days, and I will not cry when I get my paycheck. So, but my energy might be affecting this channel. But I'm hoping that I can at least have these streams once a week. But I haven't forgotten about to complete my Bible studies. So they will come sooner or later. Well, let's see about this one. So, now when I study this pattern, you can see that this symbol is one, and that is light yellow. So if you look at this fabric, it just blends in. So I don't know if it's gonna have it. no, it might be so. I replace it with another color, and I do the frame later. And maybe I do that. I do that. So we start up with the butterfly. When it comes to the traditional way of starting a cross stitch that you learn in school, at least here in Sweden, you have these arrows that you follow those arrows here, and there you have the middle of the cross stitch, and you start in the middle and you work your way around. Now, I am not completely fine with it, so instead I count. So I start in a corner. Hello, that's my son that comes on. So, he's been out fishing. Anyway, so I start in a corner. So that stitch, that is that cross stitch corner, is that one. So if you go out from this one, so this is 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18. So here from this one, I need to have 18 squares. So we start counting. Why do I start here? Because you need to have a little bit of frame when you can frame it, or what do you call it? Seam. Yeah. So you start from here, and you count 18. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 18. So that is that one over there. Now you need to go one, down, one. And that is this second color. And so we have a river that flows down through the city, and we are living just a couple of 100 yards from it. So my son, he loves fishing, so he go down and try his luck within the river. And the river flows down to the sea, and he stands just where the sea and the river are meeting. And sometimes it comes up with fish, and sometimes it not. But he is, at least he is very happy with what he does. So that's what it's counted on. I'm gonna just mark so where I know where I am on the chart. When it comes to those smaller charts, while working on like this one, I don't use a pen or something to mark where I am, because, well, I don't find it necessary. but in that for that I can also um, I, I can also trade it with some friends um, if I want to. So, now it's just starting with this one stitch at a time. So I haven't done so much lately. The only thing I've done is working, or it feels like it's the only thing I've been doing. But I have to say the boss is awesome. Have a nice salary. We can actually have a saving account. We can. We're not anymore living paycheck to paycheck. We can actually do stuff or buy stuff that has been put on hold for a long time. So that is the beneficial of a good union and a good and strong union that we have here in Sweden. That we are not dependable on tips here in within the restaurant business. We actually have a salary that we can live on. So So I can say that yesterday there was graduation day here in Sweden, or at least in my town. They used to graduate on different days, just so that siblings can come and celebrate the graduation, no matter what kind of school you go into. So they were. It was party all night long for most students. And there are some students that woke up today and feeling a heavy head. So let's just getting notifications, email notifications on my watch. So so when I stitched on the big project with Heaven and Earth, I used a method called waist knot and parking, just because it's a large project, and I can't fix the thread on the back side easily. So with with the method, what you call it, waist knot. That means that I have a little, I have a knot on my fabric and on my thread, and I let the other threads around it secure the thread on the backside. But I can't do it on here, on these. Well, I can, but it's not. It doesn't hold that good. So here, when it comes to smaller projects, I anchor my thread on the back side one by one. Takes a little bit more time, but I am in no hurry at all. So and it is said that cross-stitching is the slow way to happiness. And I actually have to agree with them, to the one that they came up with that. So if you're new in here, welcome to this channel, Leah's Baby Babble, and my live stream for the love of crafting, episode 19. That means that I have been doing this live 19 times. That's, I know. Oh dear God. Well, sorry. La, 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 la. So, everything looks fine. Ooh. Oh, sorry. And if you hear voices in the background, it's my family. They have no interest at all about my stream and my channel and everything. Yeah, yeah. What now? Are you alive? Yeah, I'm alive. I'm live. Yes. Okay. Uh, ugh. So, my daughter and my husband have been to a comic store in the city next door to us, and it's called the store calls the Hoarder Shop. really, really nice place. And she has been, uh, and she found some, I think it was Spider-Man comics. Um, and she found all the issues um, in one season of Spider-Man. And well, she's in the seventh heaven, of course. Uh, that's why she wanted to talk to me, probably. Like I said, I haven't been live before for a while, so my family. Sorry about my family, but they're not used to that. I am live as I am. That would 1, 2, 3. Yes. And I don't even know if I have a frame for this one, but they can be easily made, or perhaps even found on a flea market. And as I always have in this family, or in this home, is butterflies. So of course, when I saw this pattern, I was like, I need to do this. It's a butterfly. I don't know what I will do with everything, but of course I need to have a butterfly pattern on my walls. Um, I like to do these smaller projects sometimes, and I have a little storage where I have done projects. So if if we are in need of a gift for someone, I have something already made. So So, what will I do more? I have no idea. I just found out that Casa is an Italian uh, cross-stitch company, embroidery company, unlikely. Uh, they have a sale that is not good. It's not good for my wallet at all. Um, it's- it's- so if you are new in here, welcome so much. Get yourself known in the chat. I love to chat with you. Or if you're a learner, that is completely okay, of course. I do this kind of stream at least once a week. It's been a while since I have done this stream, but hopefully I am back on track, at least for a couple of weeks. So, this butterfly is going to not the most colorful one, but uh, it's going to be nice in the end. So, oh, yeah. Um, I'm having a drink. Don't tell Beardo. Um, so yeah. Well, Dave, how does it go for you um when you play through? What are you playing for first? I have a kid in the kitchen that is making some evening snacks, and well, the what I have left in my nose, I can smell it. It smells really, really nice. Um, it's probably some kind of leftover for a dinner. Uh, so can barely be seen how much I've stitched already. So um, the butterfly's wings is going to be very, very translucent. Um, um, let's see what Follow says. Just browsing what games are on sale on Steam. See if anything good is really cheap. Yeah. Do you have some? Do you looking out for some games? Um, I know there have been some games that have been hyped up lately. I don't know if they are on Steam. Uh, um, I am so sorry. I lose my words for uh, when you're not what. Let's see here. Follow says, well, I did play the new Lego Batman and just finished it earliest this week. Oh, nice. Nice. Well, I've been said before, English is not my first language. And I haven't been using English in a couple of weeks, which means that I have lost some of my vocabulary. So you have to see through that. Uh, Hopefully, I can make myself understandable. Father says, now I'm working on Expedition 33. I probably steam that after yours too. Ooh, nice. Expedition 33. I am wondering if my husband's plays that too. Father says, it's okay, I understand. And English is a language that can make no sense sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes, well, when I have been using English for a long period of time, I'm starting to think in English. So it's the words comes more fluently, and I'm learning. I'm trying to read in English every day. I'm not writing in English that much anymore, but at least reading. So I am familiar with the language as much as I am. So, and sometimes I just lose words anyway. American English is different from England English, yes, or British English. Here in Sweden, in schools, we are learning British English, and most of those co-workers that have been English speaking have been British English. So I have adapted from them some of my pronunciations and some words. And that sometimes I speak a more American English, but I'm trying to have a British English. I think British English is more clearer when it comes to pronunciation in some words that doesn't exist in the American English. But that's just my opinion, of course. Let's see. But the most of the English when it comes into social media and YouTube and everything from YouTube to short dramas are often American English. There are some British English, of course, but I don't follow that many British English speaking channels. Most of the channels I follow are American speaking English. So I think the goal with this pattern, this motif, that I will have everything done except the beadings. Then I can show you live in live stream how I secured the beadings on a piece of fabric. And what I do and why I'm doing it. There are different kinds of methods when it comes to beadings. So, and I have had in mind that that in the future somewhere, I will do a motif just in beading, or it's called bead embroidering, and I hope I can do it. It's not that I don't have enough beads. I have beads, so my future great grandchildren will have beads. And I can bet you $1 or 10 on that when I start to use the beads, or started to have a beading embroidery, that I don't have the right shade of some color. Probably that is my I think that is the biggest problem when it comes to all of us crafters, that it's not just the color green. You have a plethora of different kind of shades of green, and even if you think that you have enough of one shade, it is not. Let's see. Follow says, my wife's parents came here for a whole month and bought a house about an hour south of us in May. Oh, nice. That is really nice. Yeah, I have. I can recall something of your wife's parents. Now you say that they have been visiting you, but it's really nice there. But they also bought a house, so an hour away is not that far. It just how far can you come for 1 hour when it comes to where you live, Charlotte? Oh, well, sorry about the noise. We have some kids outside playing. Fullerton says so many people are moving to Florida in the US. Oh, is that so? Right. You didn't hear them. Oh, that's good, Follett. Good, good. Now here it is summer. There's warm outside. The graduation has been done, and school is out on Thursday. So my town has come from 100,000 people in year 2000 to 500K and growing. Oh, that is nice. Um, that is nice. If the management of the town can handle it, of course. But um, I myself live in a very small town. We have, when I moved here, was about 20,000 people, and now it is like 40. So we have almost double it uh, in 20 years. So um, with a lot of new areas have been built on. We um, there are so many people that want to live here. So um, now they need to build schools. So right now there are 3 new schools are built here in the town. So Follow says the whole state has grown. We are now the 4th biggest state in population. Oh, nice. Well, that is nice. What state the biggest one? Is that California? Or is it Washington? I mean Washington DC. I have zero knowledge um, of all the states in America. I have been visiting California once in 1993, I think. California, New York, and Texas are bigger. Oh, nice. So, I visited California in, I think it was 94, 93 or 94. Really don't know. And I visiting some relatives that lives outside of Los Angeles. It was a really nice. I think we were there for 3 weeks. This was, like I said, in the middle of the 90s. There was no problem at all to get time from school and everything. California and New York are blue states. Liberal, heavy taxes, and soft on crime. Texas and Florida are red states. The opposite of blue. Like the color of politics in the States are the opposite here in Europe. So, so here the red one, they are more. Some call it heavy on the taxes. It's more like we don't have that much like private schools and private hospitals and profit and all that. And so with the red politics, we get free schools, we get like free lunches, free education, free healthcare, and all that. While in the blue block of politics, we have the completely opposite. That we have started to have a third block now, and called a brown block, and those are not nice people at all. So, unfortunately, the brown block has been growing lately, which means that the blue and the red blocks are shrinking. So to have a majority in the Congress, either blue or red blocks need to have a cooperation with the brown block to have a majority. Um, and the red block has stopped. They are not touching anything uh, with the brown block. Um, Volatil says the top 5 states gaining population are red, and the top 5 states losing population are blue. And blue states are losing trillions in billions in business and rich people to red states. It's shifting the wealth. Yeah, that's the drawback of having more than 2 parties. Here in Sweden we have 7 parties that have been divided into 2 blocks, or now a third block. And unfortunately, the brown block has been growing lately. They're very well, like I said, they're not nice people. Most of it is about the immigration politics and where the immigration or the immigrants comes from. But so, and right now, there has been happening lately that there's children has been brought. What can I say? They've been separated from their parents, and parents have been allowed to stay in Sweden while their child is not allowed to stay. So the child needs to go back to the home country and apply for a visa from the home country. It's just that the home country is most of the time it's not even existent because it's just flattered with war. So that has been going on lately here. So yeah. Volatil says there has been attempts to get a third party as a major player in politics, but it never succeeded. The minor parties is all adding up to nothing. And he continues, yes, in the US as well. Each side is totally different, to the point that maybe the US should split in 2. Oh, yeah. So when you have had a civil war for like 200 years ago, something. Sweden never had a civil war. Well, the civil war we had was in the 12th century between 3 different kings. So, or more like small kingdoms that were united under one crown. So if you look at the Swedish crest, there are 3 crowns. That's why we have the 3 crowns. But that is so long ago, so that kind of history has been lost almost. It's not even taught in Sweden or in history classes anymore, which is I don't want to say is sad, but it is in a way. just when it comes to history and also with religion, you have to look at it as a map. And to know where you're going, you need to know where you come from. So, um, uh, for instance, yes, the same situation led to a civil war. The blue states wanted to keep slavery, and the red states wanted to end it. And they grew so polarized like today that it led to open war. Yes. That is sad, actually. Um, we actually have to say we have had slavery here in Sweden too, like during the Middle Ages. Uh, um, but they were not slaves in the way as the US kind of slaves, like black people from Africa. Here it was mainly from Russia, actually, and Ukraine, today's Ukraine. But even though you were a slave, you still had the freedom of religion, and you still had women were still protected by law, even if you were a slave. And you were equal to law, no matter if you were a slave or a slave owner. So so let's see what politics is. That is the part of the problem here. The public schools have wasted history so that students don't learn history. The education system just wants to indoctrinate, not educate. Exactly. Slavery has been through all of history. The past 200 to 300 years have been different, but there are still parts of the world with slavery. Yes. In some parts of the world, they don't call it slavery, but it is. It's more about that you are owning another human, and those that are slaves sometimes don't have that much rights in the society, or even are frowned upon. But yeah, no, it's different. But slavery in some shape or form has been in all throughout history at all. So yes. I once started to become a history teacher a long time ago, and one of the reasons I quit just was because that teaching history was not prioritized in school, and not only that, in some cases there are, well, like humping loops, throughout history. So, well, sometimes you need to have to um, like have taken a leap or a shortcut when it comes to teaching. But sometimes that shortcut uh, can lead to misunderstandings um, and also to what can I say? You don't get the full picture. Um, to get a conclusion of something, you need to have all the evidence and the history. It's one thing when it comes to discovering new things. History needs to be rewritten. That is something. That is completely something. But uh, um, I, uh, um, I was um, I was reading through my daughter's history book from school, and they were teaching things that now is completely opposite. Um, now with today's scientifics and all the research, um, and I had problem with that. So, um, but let's see what Paula says. I went to a private school at our church, so I learned a lot of history, real history without the bad parts covering up. Yes, sometimes history can be inconvenient or bad, but we need to know about those parts too. Like Folter says, that is why we should keep history true and not hidden. The expression is those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Exactly. And that is why I love Sabaton. So, um, um, the singer of Sabaton, he is repeating himself over and over again. Exactly what Folter said. Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And, um, and also, we need to know about those uncomfortable truths that it is history today. Um, so that was a nice discussion about history. Uh, this channel that is not about history, but actually Bible studies and some crafting. Uh, um, uh, Folter says we all have ugly things in our history, but we have to face it and grow past it, forgive each other, and be better. Exactly. I I am with you. We are on the same page. Um, Let's see. Let's see. I am just checking my X account. So I know that my alliance announcement has been going through. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I found something funny on X. The rest of the world, that animal can kill you. Australians, he used to sit on my shoulders. He's an absolute unit and we love him. That is such a phrase. Oh. And I have to say, we have our National Day here in Sweden today. So, congratulations to all the Swedes that are looking at this one. Uh, some, and this is a history part too. Why do we celebrate our National Day, the 6th of June? And that is not because Sweden got independence or a war ended or anything like that. That is, a lot of national days are celebrated just because of it. Oh no, not Sweden. We are celebrating because we had a king that, well, he more likely he united the Sweden, the different kingdoms that contained Sweden, and made it into one nation, and um, doing so, he rode into Stockholm on this date. that is now over 500 years ago. So in 1523. So yeah, it is 500 years ago. And he account says so it's not like the declaration that that the U.S. have, but the Dave says, I see similar to feudal Japan. Yeah, you can say so. Yes. But it was more like 3 families than kings or like families and warlords. So Folleton says that was 42 years before my town was founded. Yep. So, we have a ski race here in Sweden called Vasaloppet, and that is because of that king. And his name was Gustav Vasa. And before he became king, there we had something called the Bloodbath of Stockholm. And there was a lot of royalties and what we would call, yeah, well, it was most royalties that got beheaded. Over 40 people were killed within a day or something. Therefore was the name Bloodbath. And there was an aristocrat called Gustav, and he felt that something was off before this happened. So he fled, and he fled from Stockholm up in the north of Sweden. Well, at that time it was the north of Sweden. And it's the state where I come from, Dalarna. There he hid himself in a closet, or yeah, very very famous, and he escaped because he was pursued about those who performed the bloodbath, and he decided to ski from the town of Mora into today's Norway, that was still a part of Sweden in this time of history. But there was some farmers that caught him in before the border to Norway, and said that he needed to go back to Stockholm to fight back. And he raised an army in Dalarna with most of local farmers, and they marched down to Stockholm on this date, 500 years ago. So that is why we celebrate this. this this National Day. Let's see. Follow says, my town is the oldest European settlement continuously occupied in 1565 by Spain. Ooh, nice. The town I live in right now, in the south of Sweden, where I think it was founded in the 13th century. it has to be, yeah, it was Danish territory from the beginning. Um, in those part I live in, if you go further north, um, and there was the river that flows um, through the city was a divider between the Swedish territory and the Danish territory. And Sweden and Denmark hated each other's guts. Uh, so the king that founded um, this town called Christian, um, and in Denmark um, he has the name Christian the Good, while here in Sweden his name is Christian the Tyrant. So, which I have found very both interesting and fascinating, that the same king were both heaven and hell at some time, depending on who you talk to. Uh, oh my lord, I have been streaming for 1.5 hours. Yay! Uh, let's see what it says. I live just a few miles from the site they founded the town at. Oh, nice. So, with my town here where I live, when it was founded, the state from where I come from was even Christianized back then. So, um, we had uh, a monk that came in the 12th century called Ansgar. He came from Germany. Um, uh, he was the one that sort of spread Christianity to Sweden. Even though the Vikings were tradesmen and explorers, so they knew exactly what Christianity was on the continent. But they had the sense of freedom of religion, even though they were pagans, sort of. But the way of thought lives on within the Christian community of like freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and so on. So I don't. Sometimes there's a lot of Christian people that say they did this and that, but in the end, they weren't Christian, they were actually pagan. And we have now in a couple of weeks coming up one of the biggest celebrations here in Sweden called Midsummer. It is not like the movie Midsummer, mind you. And and that is actually a remnant from the Viking Age. that were more like that you prayed to the fertility gods to give a good harvest. And, well, you know, follow those, lol, yeah. Yeah. Um, so, uh, um, what we do, we have a phallus symbol that is still being risen up. Um, the phallus symbol is not anymore on the fields within the cities. Um, but there is um, the same type of celebrations. There always been. You have a pole that um, that is being clad in leaves of flowers, and uh, first it started with just one pole that was been rising up like this. That would had flowers on and strings attached to it. Then Christianity came and it became a cross. So the pole had a beam, still decorated with flowers, but it was a cross instead. And that is just yeah, and then a couple of centuries later, the Midsummer Day became the John the Baptist Day. Uh, so, um, so instead of fertility, we became it was the celebration of the Baptist or the baptism itself. So, yeah. So, how do you know that it is a big celebration in Sweden? And it's pretty simple. Do you eat pickled herring? Yes. Do you eat fresh potatoes? Yes. Do you eat strawberries? Yes. Then you know that it is a big celebration. And those goddamn pickled herrings, we eat it at least 3 times a year. It is the same food both at Easter, Midsummer, and Christmas. So, and yeah, those damn pickled herrings. But I love it. I love pickled herrings. My kids are not that sold on it, yes, yet. I don't care. Oh, I hope so. I wonder if I have beads that are brown, like the thread. Because if you look at the pattern here, so here, those these are brown or light beige, like this one. And I was wondering if I could replace those cross stitch with beads instead. Now I'm really uncertain if I have brown. I have golden. I do have golden. Yeah. You know what? I even have fluorescent ones. So they are glowing in the dark. That would be awesome, you know? So, yeah. I might have those on this one, those glow in the dark beads on this one. That would be cool. That would be really, really cool, wouldn't it? I need to consult my beading collection of what I have. But like I said before, I probably don't have the right shade. So that is just an excuse for me to go and buy more beads. Like I said, I think I have golden too. Yeah. See what I can find in the stash. Oh. I actually can make some backstitching. Sometimes when it comes to cross stitching, there is 50% of the time is just planning of what to do, when, and why. Uh, so, um, so this on the pattern here you have the cross stitching. Then those lines is called backstitching, and they're just to create a more a sharper picture of what you've done. So now when so I can't have first a back stitch and then sew a cross stitch between it, or a side of it, because then the back stitch will be erased. So first the cross stitch, then the back stitch, then and after that eventually beadings. So so I can do the back stitching now that I have done the cross stitching complete. So and when I have done the back stitching, I know where I should replace the beads. So, and also when it comes to have a cross stitch or the fabric in hand or in a frame, when you have it in a frame, you can't add the beads in at the same time, just because when you move the motifs or the fabric, there is a chance that you damage the beads in the frame, and you don't want that. So, so if you do cross stitching in a frame and have beads on it, do everything with the cross stitch and the back stitching complete, then remove the frame and then add the beads and have the fabric in hand when you're adding the beads. Oh, sorry for the dog. So let's see. So back stitching always does, well, most of the time it does with one thread, and that and sometimes it is done with two threads, and that's just because, well, it's more like a personal preference, what you prefer to do. If I have a motifs that been further away of looking at, like on a painting on the wall, I normally use two threads for the backstitch, just so you can see the motifs clearer. But it is in a smaller frame you might have on the table, or if you it's a table runner or something, I used one thread just because you don't need to have that pop-up effect. Let's see it. So sorry for gasping. Yeah. And now this is the smaller motif. I think I have a designated place on the walls for it, so I just do the backstitching with one thread. And sometimes when it comes to just backstitching, it can take more time to do a neat backstitching than to do the cross stitching. Let's see here. So, like I said, it can go on to take some time. So, um, Just found out an error. Going back. So now the outline of the butterfly is almost done. And you can see they have a little bit more shape to it than I had before, and when I did all the cross stitching. So now I'm going to do the wings here in the within the butterfly. So
I am almost done with this butterfly, and that I will always I will be done with the string too. It's been awesome. Those of you that have been with me doing this stream. So at least I'm gonna have a stream planned to next week. I am not sure if I have the time and energy to do a regular a regular episode. I am hoping I have that or have the time for it, most likely. If I don't, I don't. So it is my channel. I do whatever I could with it. Let's see. Sewing and talking at the same time is sometimes not compatible. At least when you need to really concentrate where you are on the chart. Follow says, well, you have a good day, and I'll see you on again soon, I hope. Yes, I hope so too. I hope so too. Let's see, where am I? I'm gonna be lost on track here. So hopefully next week I can do some beading, some decoration on this one, or maybe perhaps do some stitching on it. I don't know. I just did this one just because it's a smaller project and it's more convenient to have, or even when I sit and stream here, and then I have the larger ones. So here we go. But don't look at my backside too neatly because sometimes my backsides are not good. But who looks at the backside? It is the front side that counts. So, so here I am. Oh, here it is. So, a small but very beautiful butterfly.
like you can see. So that would be, sorry, not as quick. Well, that is all for me, folks. I hope I see you again very soon, at least next time, or next Saturday, um, at least. But anyway, I hope I see you soon. And for that, remember to uh, always be kind to each other and give us both a pat on the back and a hug to the loved ones. So I see you soon. Bye.